Hello, I'm Jason Tanner with J-Mars Signs and Graphics, your one-stop shop to advertise your business, church, or organization. Having 18 years of experience, J-Mars will be happy to assist you with custom apparel, t-shirts, signs, including 3D and lighted signs, as well as LED message centers. We are open Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in Toccoa and Tuesday through Thursday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. in Cornelia. So come on by and allow our knowledgeable team and myself to serve you. J-Mar Signs and Graphics, located in Toccoa and Cornelia, Georgia.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Diamond Studios podcast. This is where three friends get together to talk about music, business, and the balance of both with life. I'm your host, Nathan Collins, and as always, we're joined with the one and only Kevin Beggs, Jonathan Boucher, and today we are going to talk about finding the right recording artists. Customer edition. Let's get into it. Awesome.
Let's do it.
Wow, that is a rush. I really thoroughly enjoy that new intro.
It's so good.
It is. It's very good. Okay, so
Reminds me of guavas.
It does. You saying guava reminds me of iguanas.
Guava iguanas.
All right, we're already derailing.
It's okay. It's okay.
We're just now starting. All right, yeah. So, everybody, you're amazing. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
You're great.
You're
So,
a genius.
You're loyal. We just watched a compilation of DJ Khaled, so forgive us. So things might get fun. But today we are going to talk about artists we will work with, customer edition. So we're going to do another one of these where it is basically label edition, like an artist that we would potentially sign. But today we're gonna talk about artists we will work with, customer edition, and we're gonna answer the questions. What artist will we not work with?
What a tight line to walk on.
Yep, it's a tight one. How do we handle customers we won't work with? And what artists do we work with and look for?
This is like there's a hornet's nest and we're just stepping in it. We know it's there.
It's like we're playing Ring Around the Rosie with that hornet's nest.
And you trip and fall face first into it.
Yeah.
And then you stay there.
No, I think I think it's a good thing though.
Yeah, definitely.
I think it's a good thing. All right, so let's jump into question 1. Open-ended. So what artist will we not work with? So I think number 1, I think an artist that's trying to not pay full price.
Yeah.
Like
You're coming here trying to pay $5 for studio time.
Yeah.
Like, who are you? And why do you think you deserve that? Like, what have you done to deserve like free studio time or cheap studio time?
Yeah, exactly. Actually, so these kinds of questions require extra strength.
Where are you getting that extra strength?
I'm getting it from Living Room Roasters.
That sounds really good.
That was a great sip of coffee.
I bet.
I really want to do another.
Do it.
Okay, yeah, they're great. So what artists will we not work with? What pops? This is dangerous. All right, no name dropping.
No.
Obviously,
I know exactly who you're thinking of, though.
I bet you do.
Oh,
the
yeah.
guy we kicked out.
Yeah, the guy we kicked out.
100%. So the story behind this is we had a guy come in, and we don't do walk-ins, okay? So we normally, I say normally, we always require you to book ahead of time. That way we can be prepared, we can set up properly, and most importantly, we can have the right engineer in the house.
Yeah.
You know, we're all diverse, but we all have different strengths.
Yeah.
You know, and we want to serve the musician or the artist to the best of our abilities. So, you know, if someone's doing live stuff, I want Kevin here.
Right.
And if someone's doing pop and hip hop, then Kevin's gonna want me here.
And if someone's doing a noise band, we want Jonathan here.
Yeah, basically. He's like, So we had a guy walk in one night, and he asked if he could do a session. He just wanted an hour. So he wanted to do an hour of studio time, and
And our studio time was $50 at this point.
it wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've gone up in price. Now we charge $62 an hour. So at the time it was $50, right? So when you walk into a business and you're planning on buying a product or service, you plan on having the money, right? Like you don't walk into Walmart, go for a bag of Cheetos without any ways of paying for it. Not knowingly anyway.
Yeah.
I've walked into Walmart and shopped and forgot my
And had to walk
money.
out of there.
Yeah.
And either not come back or...
Just hope and pray your buggy's still there.
Yeah.
When you get back. Or that your snacks are on top of the fridge.
Yeah.
When you get back. So anyway, the guy walks in and he's like, yeah, can I get an hour of studio time? And I'm like, yeah, it'd be $50. He was like, 50? Can you do like... Well, he tried to bargain with us for a minute. He was
he
like...
did like 20. I think he asked for 20.
20, yeah.
And we were like...
No?
And then you said, I can give you 30... I can give you 30 minutes for $25.
Yeah.
And I had to sit there for a minute, and I was like, oh, math. He's just giving them a normal studio deal.
Just normal studio time, just cut in half. Funny math. So yeah, we told him, you can get 30 minutes for $25. He was like, all right, well, I don't have any money. And I was like, okay, well, you can't come in and record. So we negotiated, quote unquote, for
probably the first 20 to 30 minutes.
It took forever. And like we weren't being soft. Like we were decently straightforward. Like, dude, you gotta pay.
Yeah, you gotta have the money on you.
Long story short, this guy ends up like calling a buttload of people, trying to bum money off of people while sitting in our lobby while we're telling him to leave. And then eventually the guy hits a roadblock and then we ask him to leave and everything was good. But that whole entire sequence was at least 30 to 45 minutes. Like, just came in, wasted our time, and we should have made him pay for that. But at that point, it was just more of a headache than anything.
Yeah.
So
he didn't sound good either.
Like artist-wise, or?
Yeah, I didn't appreciate his style anyways.
Oh, I don't remember what I
couldn't even
worked with him
describe it to you.
times. I don't know. So that's a great example of an artist that we will not work with.
No.
If an artist comes in and they don't have the money to pay for our service, then nah, fam. I'm sorry. I think another one is if you're an artist, whether you have money or not, if you're a jerk, you can get out of here. Like, there's no reason.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no reason. So, more power to you. You're a butt, But we have one guy, oh man, that we won't work with again. Just because of how pushy he tend to be.
Yeah.
Book studio time for the wrong reason. More for lessons.
Yeah.
Technical lessons.
Yeah.
Than anything. But so those are artists that we shouldn't work with, right?
Yeah.
Do y'all have any that pop in? Not specific items, but artists. But like, do y'all have I don't know, certain things that we shouldn't work with?
I think if you come in with the mindset, there's two like areas I think of whenever I think of this, but so when an artist comes in with arrogance,
Yeah.
this is my own personal opinion, I guess. If they come in with the arrogance, but they have the talent to back it up, I'm willing to hear it out. But if they come in with the arrogance and don't have anything to show for it, it's really hard for me personally to like make it through that session.
It's hard to care.
Yeah, it's really hard to care.
Yeah.
Like, arrogance overall just bothers me.
Yeah.
But arrogance without any like substance is like, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's like getting a plastic bag stuck in your wheel. It's the first image that came in my head. Yeah.
Sound.
Yeah, that's the first one that comes to mind. Not that we've had anyone like that, but I've had some sessions where I was questioning. I was like, is this worth it to keep going?
Yeah, it's almost like, I want to charge you double.
Yeah.
We have had sessions like that. And we're not being rude about customers.
No.
We are, and I know for a fact, bakers feel the same way. Anybody in customer service.
Yeah, I was like, anybody in customer service.
You get those those clients, and you're like, or those customers, and they're just jerks, and you're just like, this is not worth X amount of dollars per hour.
Yeah, it's like, who are you?
Yeah, it's like, especially if you get a customer that takes an hour of your life away, and you're like, you're not worth that. To me, anyway. Heck no. Now, when we first opened, one of the things that we would always say was, I can't wait for the day that we don't have to worry about losing a client or worry about a client, and we can like kind of pick and choose who we get to work with. Still we have open arms to everybody.
Yeah.
But luckily we're at the point to where we don't like if you're not. God, this sounds so bad. This sounds so bad.
Yeah.
If you're not worth our money, you're not like.
Just walk the line, Nathan.
Okay, no,
Do it.
I said that backwards. If you're not worth our time, then we're not worth your money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds better.
Yeah, that sounds a lot better.
If you're not worth
You're not worth any money.
You're not worth our money.
If you don't got no money, we don't want you.
No,
so awful.
because our favorite, and why this matters is because whenever we do this a lot. A lot. Stop. Whenever an artist comes in and we think they'll mesh well with another artist, we'll connect those two artists, and the next thing you know, they got a feature with them, or they're doing some kind of promotion with them, and it goes the other way around. Like if an artist enjoys working with us, then they're like, "Hey, I know this great studio." So that's why it's very important to work with people who you want to work with.
Yeah.
And kind of, have a little bit of control.
Yeah.
over that.
Now, there's something to be said about just being able to work with others, period, I think. Even if you're like, your personalities are completely different, finding common ground to relate with and work with. Because there's going to be situations in your musical career where you're going to meet someone that you just don't like.
Yeah.
But you have to work towards a common goal of writing a song or producing an instrumental or whatever it may be. So I think there's something to be said about that, about just learn to work with others and respect people. Yeah.
I think your outlook on everything changes when you learn to value other people's time.
Yeah.
That bleeds into the arrogance thing that you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that's why I don't think any of us like anybody arrogant. There's a difference in people who are arrogant and stay true to their word.
Yeah.
That's why most people don't like the Paul brothers. I think they're super arrogant.
Yeah.
And slightly annoying. But I love when someone is just like, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, you're so arrogant, but then they turn around and do it. I admire that.
There's something commendable about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of boxers that do that. Conor McGregor. But
Luffy from One Piece. If you know, you know.
Luffy.
That's great.
Like the thing you shower with?
No.
That's a loofah.
He's from an anime.
Monkey D. Luffy.
I have no idea.
It's okay.
I'm still imagining me in a shower.
With a loofah called Luffy?
He's really stretchy. Anyways.
All right. So, see, I lost what I was saying, and I feel like it was important. No. What? Okay.
I don't know. Okay.
Opening to question 2. How do we handle customers we won't work with?
Kindly ask them to get out.
Or call the cops, either one.
Or call the cops. Yeah, if it gets to that, I guess we have
Kindly call the cops.
to.
We've never had that happen.
No, we have not.
Thank God. We've never had that happen.
No, we've been able to resolve pretty much everything by just talking.
Yeah, which I think that's a majority of things in life you can do that.
Yeah.
You know, and when a customer gets heated, you know, you just gotta stay calm.
Yeah.
Don't get heated back at them. So that particular instance that we were talking about, the reason why it took 30 minutes to kick the guy out of the studio is probably because we were super nice for the first 15 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, probably too nice. But so how we handle customers we won't work with is obviously we ask them to leave, right? So if we ask them to leave, and in this instance, we'll specifically say, like, you can't come back unless you have the money to pay for our service, right? Like, there's no free handouts. We didn't get to where we are with free handouts. And, like, sure, one day we'll get to the point to where maybe we can do that, you know? Maybe, but you got to fill out forms and make it a tax write. I sound like such a butthole.
Just running a business, man.
Yeah, true. But yeah, so just basically confrontation. I know the guy that we were mentioning earlier that booked studio time for the wrong reason. He booked it so that we could teach him how to use a piece of technology. Like that's not what we're here for. Though we didn't necessarily mind it. But you know, when you're teaching, you're supposed to be teaching, you know, and this guy was very commanding. And if we were teaching the wrong way, then he let us know, even though he paid for us to teach him. So we had several conversations, and we asked him not to come back unless he was wanting studio time, like to record.
Yeah.
So I think handling these customers it's always difficult, but I think we have a great way of doing it. And most of the time it's just talking. And also never do it alone.
No.
Ever. It's a bad idea. Just because of A, you never know allegations. And B, you never know motives. You know? So some people are sketchy.
Yeah.
So that's the super negative portion of this cast. I feel really low right now, so let's get to what artists do we work with? And what artists do we look for? Customer edition. So next week is gonna be label talk. So Kevin, you go first. What artists do we want to work with?
Personally, I like working with someone who has a vision. Someone who has an idea of where they want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's going to come in here again soon, but Daniel Profeta, dude, came in here with, like, a bullet-pointed list of each song of what he wanted in each song.
He's like, I'm going to have an album done.
And I was like, you're like the dream client.
Yeah.
Like, you have everything you need lined up.
Yeah.
And you're willing to work. You're willing to flesh out ideas. Like, dude, he had everything spot on. And I was just like, dude, you're great.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the dream clients.
Yep.
It is good because now whenever Daniel's coming up, we know if we need to have the mics drummed. Don't ever drum on our mics. Don't ever drum on any mic.
Yeah, don't drum on the mics.
Don't do that.
Psychopath.
So we know if we need to have the drums mic'd or the piano mic'd.
Yeah.
We know what guitars we need to have tuned. Like we kind of know his plan.
Yeah.
So you know the Carswells.
Yeah.
Josh, dude, he came in here and was like, I want to do this song. I want it to sound like this. And he went home and did research on like what sounds within our software, what sounds make the sounds that he wants. and it made our life so much easier. They got a great sounding song in probably the least amount of time that they possibly could have gotten.
Yeah.
I think the thing that took the most time was drum takes.
Yeah.
I
think
normal.
we had to do 2 separate takes of drums, if I remember that right.
We did.
Because I remember I came in late, and then I was like, "Oh, we need to redo the drums, guys."
My living room coffee roaster's coffee
It's
just
gone. We need more.
Another type of people we like to work with is people that are really open to. They have an open mind.
That's valid.
Yeah.
Yeah. People that can grow.
100%.
Those are the best. Like,
because I mean, not to go back negative, but we have worked with artists where they don't take any form of, they don't take criticism well, and so like I don't know, we being engineers, recording engineers, and also producers, it's weird. You have to find that fine line of what the artist wants you to do, in a sense.
Like people, like it's always great to work with someone who you could be like, "Did you want autotune on this?" Like it's always like
the age-old question:
Do you bring up autotune or not?
Do you want autotune or not?
Oh yeah,
that is an interesting question to figure out. Do you ask that or do you just let it roll?
Yeah, I don't know. It's become such a normal now, though.
Yeah,
like I don't even think twice about it. It's more of just like a, hey, what's your thoughts on autotune? You like it? You hate it?
yeah.
All right. And if they like it, my thing is like, all right, on a scale of 1 to T-Pain, what do you think?
1 to T-Pain, what do you think?
And then they're like, about 5. All right, cool. So it used to be weird, but I think the trick is learning how to ask.
Yeah, no, that's definitely
learning
part
how
of
to
it.
ask. So
I feel like a good time to ask is before you even start recording.
always, yeah. I always do that while I'm setting up. I try to knock out the feelings of like, make sure they can see me. Because if they're in the booth, we don't have a window here. So if they're in the booth and we're in here, then they don't know if I'm like, ew, making a stank face, asking about auto-tune. They can see, they can see our reaction.
Yeah.
So I lost all of my train of thought. It's gone forever.
You were talking about giving them, I guess, getting the image of. You were talking about what they want first before you started talking about the window.
Yeah.
That's where you were. I don't know where you're heading after that, though.
I don't either. I lost everything. I don't know. I do. I love artists with an open open book artists.
Yeah.
Don't tell me your life story, but I'm talking like open book as in your creativity.
Yeah.
You're open for growth. You're open for input. And you're honest with. I know me as an engineer. I like brutal honesty.
Yeah. Makes life a lot easier.
Yeah. If I put in like a suggestion and you hate it, just be like, no, that's not really my style. Don't like say, let's try it. A lot of artists do that. Just it's your art.
Go back to Daniel. That was another thing.
Yeah.
He would tell you if he didn't like it.
Like straight up.
He's like, I don't really like that.
Yeah, no. That's
like,
not me.
He's like, I don't think that's the sound.
Yeah. And I mean,
but he would also hear it out. He would be like, yeah, let's try that. And he would let it go through, and then he'd be like, nah, I don't think that's it.
Yeah. But there's many times where he's like, yeah, I actually like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know we did a song with him where it was supposed to be completely acoustic.
Yeah.
And then it turned out to be borderline electronic. And he was like, dude, I did not hear this coming. Daniel, we are just like...
We're gushing.
We're just hyping you up right now. It's because you're going to play at Fools Fest.
Yeah, he's going to play at Fools Fest.
Yeah. Which everyone should go buy their tickets for that right now.
Plug.
You can go to diamondstudioslid.com, and there's a whole little tab in the menu dedicated to Fools Fest. There's also a merch.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a minute. Stop it. All right.
Another type of artist we like to work with.
Who?
And I think this is more of like on a fun scale than like a... It's not a requirement, but like people that are willing to use studio musicians.
Yeah. That is a good one. basically,
because we like doing it. It's fun.
yeah, yeah, and whenever it gets down to it, basically it comes down. We don't like, or we like working with artists who aren't cheap
Yeah.
on their art.
Yeah.
Which
I was gonna say, as soon as you brought up studio musicians, I think, especially if you have a hard time playing instruments, you're gonna save money in the long run. Like,
yeah,
you're gonna get that part that would take you 3 hours to get down and done in 1 hour.
Yeah.
If it's a simple part, it's not crazy.
we just did that with Joshua.
Yeah.
So he came in and was like, I have this idea. We laid down the idea. He was like, I'm not the best at guitar. So we brought in Kayla.
Yeah.
And then from there, we just built off of it. And like it turned into this whole production.
Yeah.
So now we've got drums. We have everything.
Yeah.
It's a full-blown song. But just simply because he came in and was just honest. He was like, I'm not the best at this, so I'm going to need help.
Yeah.
And now his song, it shows us as a studio, like, it does have an effect. Not that we don't care about all of our artists that we work with, our customers and clients. Not that we don't care, but it's a different kind of care whenever an artist shows us that they're investing into their music.
Right.
It hits us as engineers and us as musicians differently than if someone's coming in because they're here for the clout,
Yeah.
or they're here for the looks or the Instagram post. It does. It makes
Yeah.
a big difference. Because when an artist's heart is truly in it, we can tell. And then it puts our heart in it as well.
Yeah.
And it's trust me, for the sake of your music, it's a good thing.
Right.
It's a great thing. So don't be cheap. Go ahead and budget, plan it out. Don't come into the studio, only being able to afford an hour every 6 months. That's the worst way to record.
Yeah.
It's the
Also,
worst.
if you're not ready, make sure you're ready before you
Yeah.
come in.
Yeah.
But also, don't procrastinate and don't hesitate.
Yeah.
There's a middle ground you have to find.
If you're not ready, don't come in. If you can't afford it yet, don't come in. However, maintain those goals in your mind. Go ahead and set money aside every week, every paycheck, whatever that is. And then in 3 or 4 months, book 10 hours and come in with a schedule ready to knock it out and ready to go for it. And if you have questions about anything, just whether it's our studio or a different studio,
Yeah.
if you have questions, call them, email them, message them, figure it out. Like, it's your art. If this is something that you want to do for a living, you're not going to do it by sitting on the sidelines and procrastinating. It does not work that way
It does not.
at all. But yeah, so you guys have any final inputs?
I would just say again to repeat, like, come into the studio ready to work, ready to get everything in your mind out in the open into a recording software.
Yeah.
And also, if you come in prepared, most times, more than not, especially what we've seen, I feel like the first takes, even if they're not skillfully the best, the first takes are usually like it. Like, those are going to be your best takes.
Yeah.
So make sure you know your song. Make sure you have everything down. Make sure you have everything lined out with what you're trying to do. Your product will be better because of it.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And that will make you our favorite client to work with if you're just prepared.
This is super true. Oh, wow. Would you look at that? And it's time for our music segment. And I'm in the boat you were in last week. I can't cheat. My phone's over there.
My phone's over there.
All right, John, you go first while we scroll through our imaginary.
What?
Do you have one? I have one.
Go.
What you been listening to?
I've been listening to King's Kaleidoscope's Beauty Between. I think
Okay.
I said that a few weeks ago, but
It's a good
just
one.
been revisiting it. I listened and looked at the lyrics for Rain this morning, and I was like, Dang, I needed to hear that.
It's a good one.
It's a really good album. If you haven't heard that, you should go listen to it. They got a bunch of features in it. It's a great time. Music videos are really great. Great album overall.
Yeah. What you been listening to?
Oh, you know, Jeff Tweedy, Lou Reed, Trampled by Turtles.
Trampled by Turtles.
The Kooks.
The Kooks? What from the Kooks?
Their first album.
Nice. Oh, I played a gig.
Inside Out.
I played a gig last week, so I was listening to a lot of classic rock. So I listened to a lot of the Kooks by just association of everything.
Okay. I've been listening to a lot of Skrillex.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've got a secret project coming up. Yeah. It's a project. It's not a secret project, but it's not a secret.
I mean, you've talked about a project
Yeah.
that you're releasing.
We'll have multiple projects coming up.
Yeah.
But I've been really, really, really diving into and dissecting a lot of sound design around complicated scenarios. Like taking live sounds and turning them into things they shouldn't be. So, all right. That's it?
Yeah.
Good episode. Good talk.
Really
All right,
good.
next week we're going to hit the same thing. Finding the right recording artist, but we're going to talk about label edition.
Label.
So, today was customers. Next week, we're going to talk labels, which is going to be amazing. All right. So, as always, hey, thank you guys so much for tuning in. It really means a lot. And for those of you that have already rated us and you're letting us know that you like this show, it means a lot. But if you haven't, make sure you rate it. Let us know what you think. This is how we make things better. This is how we grow. We do it together.
And I'm
You
going to
know?
say this without
it.
talking to anyone. And I'm going to say, I'm putting it out there. And if it comes back next week that I'm completely wrong, then we'll just
Okay.
obliterate it. But maybe if you share the podcast and let us know that you shared it, maybe there'll be some podcast merch in the future that you possibly could get your hands on. Maybe. Maybe.
Wow.
This is a big maybe, question mark. Just keep listening to the episodes, and maybe it'll get confirmed or not confirmed.
Keep sharing it.
I'm just going to leave it up in the air. You know?
5 years later, we're like, we
Maybe.
maybe.
Just keep listening to it.
No,
Time for me to make some more photogenic poses.
We have some in the works.
We do have some in the works.
But yeah, so rate it, share it. We love you guys. Thank you so much
Yes.
for tuning in. Also, if you listen to us on Spotify, there's a questionnaire every single week related to the podcast. So make sure you answer that questionnaire. And yeah, because this is how we know what you're thinking. And we love you. You're amazing. I feel like I'm missing something. Duh. Kevin mentioned merch.
I did.
We just dropped Diamond Studios merch.
Woo woo.
Very exciting. You can check that out on our website.
Embroidered hoodie.
Embroidered hoodies. So they're only available through March 1st. If you don't get them then you're going to have to wait probably another 8 months before you can get your hands on one. And that's if we're able to do it in 8 months. So go grab it. Go grab
get
it.
Grab it. Go get it.
DiamondStudiosLID.com. And there is a tab at the top. One says merch, one says Fools Fest, one says book, and one says home.
Cute.
Yeah. Thanks.
Go get your drip.
All right. Let's get out of here.
You got a song?
You're the best around. I don't know, not really.
Okay.
This has been the podcast. This has been the podcast.